start to wonder, are they going B? Are they rotating to C? Where are they going? And if someone gets aggressive on A to try to find that information, they could be in trouble. That said, vakk still has his dash, so he can afford to go for a little bit of an info play and bail out pretty quickly.
Okay, well already we are going to be seeing this push coming in towards the A site. Cho already going to be left blinded, the paranoia coming in, and vakk just trying to maneuver himself around. Lots of counter utility already being expended, and it's the defenders just slamming them down. But BZT with the frenzy has found a couple back. Tigene left alone, 1 versus 3, trying to make a move around the side of the site, but it's Destrian to close things out, and it is going to
look towards nolpenki. Boo always plays Omen, doesn't matter where they're at. Recently, he's just been pulling it out pretty consistently. The only change they make for Haven is a breach in instead of raise for Loudly, which I was saying earlier on. And I'm surprised that we don't see the same thing coming through from Need More DM. We spoke about it a couple of times, how Raze isn't really an agent that, oh, that's beautiful, that thrives particularly when it comes to Haven, just because of how difficult it is. It's so big, there's so many open spaces, and so it's very difficult to catch players in a corner they can't get out of consistently. That was beautiful by vakk, though, wasn't it? I mean, you see the benefit of the jet there. He can continue to aggress even despite the slow being down. The pre-fire. Oh, there's 2 players, though. They've been baited in. Chill only good for 1. They know the breach was there as well. He's using his aftershock to try and get out of there and keep them back for a moment while the rotates come through. Ooh. But FoDa is able to shut him down with the shock arrows. And so we go into a 2v3. And it looks like Need More DM haven't quite made their mind up to commit towards the A site. Never mind, actually. They're just changing their avenue of approach, moving to long instead of short.
Oh, Boo's in such a spicy position. He's coming round on the flank now. vakk is going to have to deny them, but as it was said yesterday, there's not really anyone else you'd want in these situations. The first operator shot connected, and with the Sova around the corner, it's going to be a tough take back him, but he whiffs. That's a first. He's going to get healed up instantly, though, by the Sage, and chances are for FoDa, there's not really a chance in this scenario. Has to hit an instant shot, and vakk is just enough. But I think the pings giving you the ability to basically just, okay, I'm dead, I'm just going to ping different things on the map, seems a little bit overpowered, and somewhat takes away communication, I guess. Like, that's one of the exciting things about this game, is you have to work as a team. If you don't need to communicate anymore because someone can just go, he's exactly here, then it's slightly cheating.
Yeah, I get it. It's a cheap enough tactic. This is a bit dangerous. The camera can't spot the players coming up through long, so the peak is just about to go through by the breach, and Loudly might be getting a bit of a surprise as he comes around the corner.
Yeah, Cho. I like his utilization of these cams, but the dart has spotted Loudly. Cho still in the corner, but he actually loses the battle. The trades come back thick and fast, but it's still the offense that gain control of the A site. I feel like that's the site that a lot of teams seem to struggle to hold, especially when we saw Party Parrots play on the attacking side just a day or 2 ago. They were able to get a lot of entry through long, which, I'll be honest, I feel like that should be the tougher to take, if anything, especially with how open mid can be. vakk, though, is going to try and sneak his way around the edge of the cage. Got that operator in hand. Doesn't actually take the shot. I thought he was going to pre-fire into the angle, and instead, he goes down without a fight.
Well, it's not gone well, has it? Loudly's gone immediately. Looks like he'll continue to be quiet. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Barcode. He's got aggressive, but he's on the cam. He's being pushed down. He doesn't realize it. That's a free kill for Cho. Oh, man. The position he was in was so great. Cho didn't initially check it as he came around, but then he turned to see someone just sat on their phone. Ooh. Boo with 1. Paranoia goes out. It's not going to catch the players on site, so he's still in a bit of danger. That res is very dangerous indeed. But Destrian, he provides the covering fire to let Loudly come back alive. The aftershock through, not going to fully cover the corner. That again comes back to what we've been saying a couple of times, complimenting the likes of Scream, having those great placements for aftershocks. If that was a little bit more to the left, that would have forced the player in the open, and the round would already be concluded.
I feel like that's what he's that kid that's just going to be doing something. The second he goes quiet, you know that there's a problem. It will be the flash in. Actually, vakk's just going to boost himself forward and find the opener onto Crazy Deer. There's nobody else even close to the action. It was a 3-man A stack initially. for the side of Need More DM, and now this is a real problem because the time is going to be ticking for quite a while before the full squad actually gets into position. Tigene as well, just sort of holding the line. We are going to see the nades thrown into position to try and clear out that back corner, and it does work. It's still just going to be the trade, though, as again, it goes backwards and forwards. They've spotted at least one man, but the shot slightly being missed by both players, so puts us back into a potential position. I didn't expect BZT to get that kill. Cho, however, he's now the lurker. Misses his initial shot, but they still don't seem to realize where he is, and at this point, the spike is too far gone. Boo just playing this perfectly, the lurk position, and eventually closes the round. Mainly because it's necessary. I think Mixwell's one that we always sort of highlight, but for a very good reason. Vakk, in the meantime, looking to try and pressure into mid. Doesn't have a whole lot of support, but the breach is just behind in the form of Loudly, who might be able to pop flash him in through the wall. Instead, FoDa is actually going to gather up quite a bit of information. They know that mid has been pressured, and this might cause for a rotation, but if it does, it's a little bit far behind. They're really expecting FoDa to hold the line here. The push from Loudly, though, is very risky, and FoDa will get them the initial advantage.
Oh my god, Tigene pulling it straight on back with a double that was so damn clean. Things are looking pretty good for Need More DM now. This is a setup we complimented before. We saw Screen do it, but Boo now in the position down towards bottom middle. Oh, gets a distraction perfectly. Chose up behind to shut down the diffuser. Failed back, and now they know there's two players. They know where they are, but they can't do a damn thing about stopping these peaks. Down below, Boo gets Barcode and easily can.
As said, this is what we want to see for an operator player. A little bit more of a switch up. However, it's expected. The dart from Cho is going to leave him in an awkward spot. However, BZT still standing, and actually he's going to pop the ultimate as well. He denies them complete sewers control, and Barcode has already closed out another. It's left all onto one man, Boo. And unfortunately, there's not much he can do.
You scared me, Tom. Why would you do that?
I wondered what you're doing there. I'll be honest, that caught me off guard.
Well, yeah, Boo looking to give them a nice little surprise, but they know where he is now. And although he gets the first, BZT was found to buy rounds, which is all that remains, more or less. Need More DM have looked like the better team. I feel like we can't put that much pressure on him, really, but Vakk isn't showing up to the same degree we've normally seen. I mean, he had opportunities coming up behind them, having already popped his ultimate, and the knives just missed. Gave them a little bit of a haircut, but that's all. We've seen the dashes used a little bit too aggressively and the early peaks be punished. And I put a lot of that down to BZT. He has been so damn solid in taking those early fights and bringing them straight back to Vakk with a mass amount of vengeance and fury.
Yeah, I think with the amount he's been able to get away with, that's always the worry for me, especially on the attacking side. He's someone who has fallen flat in the past. I remember that in the qualifier, that he became almost a liability for the squad because he was getting picked so much with the fights that he was willing to take. A man clearly never losing any confidence. Oh, and that is Phil!
What?
Straight through the smoke. Couldn't see a thing, but, well, clearly he knew something was up. Yeah. Don't do that.
Let's show it 10 times. Get the slow-mo. Get the zoom in.
Okay.
Get the, like, fade to black with the at this moment.
Oh, that's big. That's a lot of information.
What? He spotted two of them with one. What?
That's what you call tech.
He only shot one of them. Can you collateral with the drone?
I don't know. But
I mean, you must be able to.
Oh, here we go. This is where things get really tough for the defensive side, but Barcode has done a great job. Stunned in the back of the site. The push still yet to really come in. They're trying to make their way through the sewers, but they've got stuck. Boo, however, with an aggressive position, still only manages one, and BZT's there again. Even the ultimate at the end is perfectly positioned. It will be the victory coming up for Need More DM.
This guy's sick. This guy's just absolutely
Yourself over the top to take some risks. But either way, enough theorizing. We are into our pistol round. You spoke about Vakk being in those aggressive positions, and that's a start already. The paint shells will be dropped out. As it is going to be Lamp's control taken, and this can be quite valuable in after-plant situations. The only worry is the fact that they don't actually have any positioning into the toilets, so the retake's going to be very one-dimensional for the defense to come in. Only a few angles that they need to clear, and with the wall already dismantled, now it just comes down to the firefights, especially with these Brim smokes. In fact, they've even used a counter wall, and Cho in a prime position. They're already just going to defuse right in front.
Forward, but he's going to spot out the information that nobody is there, and that's why you get a third man rotated to the B site. Now a Raze in play, nade in hand, ready to throw it through and cause some serious damage. Having this third player is massive. If Need More DM look to push forward, they have no idea they're running into a stack.
Yeah, the boombot expended, the Bulldog. Not a primary gun, but it still works out. Destrian, a little bit of a whiff. It's FoDa's entry actually through the wall, and now the showstopper comes out. You can just see, run for the hills, lads. You don't want to go anywhere near that bazooka, but you are going to get taken down anyway. Destrian is gone, and BZT is now just sat on the angle, trying to control the elbow, not allow anybody back in through this position. They're going to try and dual peek him, but he gets the first, and the second's not quick enough for the trade, as we see each member beginning to fall. Boo not quite as spooky with his brimstone in play, and while realistically he should just be looking to try and save an extra gun, instead he's going to get shut down. BZT is playing.
Missed that shot, and then to have Boo whiff the spray on a half HP Sage. It just, there was no way they were winning that round with those kind of plays.
Well, some risks taken by Cho, trying to peek behind the drone to see if the man sending it out was on the other side, but it seems like FoDa had his teammates prepared. The early tripwire has also been destroyed, so they're going to have to be a bit careful. That's so aggressive from Loudly. Just two players coming through. Boo will do some damage with the Molotov, but ultimately the site has been taken, and I almost wonder if this might just be a save. And while for some of the players it is, but I guess if you've purchased a Judge, maybe not.
If you crouch, it's at least a medium range weapon. You get an extra 2 meters out of it. What it actually does, it tightens up the spray a little bit, and then you also have to not spam it. You gotta tap, tap, tap.
Are you telling people to long-range tap with the shotgun, Mitch? Is that what you're trying to get people to do?
Yes.
I feel like this is just so the people play worse than you in matches. So you're like, yeah, no, it's actually as good as the operator. You just need to know how to use it, and then you're just sat there going, easy frags.
Easy ace. No, but not like it's something that you'll notice if you play Spike Rush enough, and when you come into those judges.
Also, both operator players currently in the form of VAKK and BZT. I was going to say we're on 12 kills, but unfortunately, BZT kills him before I can even finish the sentence.
Of course, you got to come to expect it at a certain point. What is this from Tigene? Just running straight on through the cage into the tripwire. He's doing everything. Oh, the shot missed, but Cho gets caught by Tigene still through the gap. And with that, Destrian left in the open and shut down to open up the B site completely. But Boo, my God, what an ultimate! Straight down, exactly what we were talking about earlier. You've got so many close range angles, tight little spaces that he can just nuke, essentially. Look at that little push by Loudly as well. Crazy Deer wanted to get the plant in, thought they both rotated, but no. And with that, a 1v2, they now know exactly where FoDa is as well.
He's the man that I like to see in these positions, though. Probably the most cerebral player on his squad, and in a 1 versus 2, he's been tactical before. Still has some utility to play with as well, and that recon dart might be the most crucial piece. If he can work out where either of these members are, that could give him some vital info, but Loudly just connects his initial...
nolpenki. We'll see if they can do it yet again as we move on in. Looking at a 3-man hold towards the A site. Nothing too unusual. Loudly with a nice opening. The nade on through as BZT punishes the low HP players afterwards. They know that a Jet managed to slip through the cracks. They saw her fly around the side. But obviously through the TP and the spike left behind, there's not a whole lot you can really do. VAKK's going to have to try for the 1 versus 4. And with the spike in the open, they're more than ready. The nade refreshed after 2 kills. Doesn't connect anything. But here they go. Look, 3 players swing through. There was no way he was getting away. To even just avoid an overtime. I can't lose a single round, as you said. 9 in a row. This round starts off nice and slow. nolpenki not wanting to give away the opening duels. BZT gets aggressive in the showers and shut down. They clean him up pretty quickly. Cam goes out to try and spot something as a kill comes back into favor of nolpenki yet again. Vakk sniping down Tigene. And this is looking like they've at least come back into this one to play.
Yeah, Boo again is going to be able to find a kill with his orbital strike. I believe that was in lamps, which I will say if you're deep in lamps, it can be one of the positions that's very difficult to escape from in time. But yeah, that's so valuable that he's being able to predict those sort of positions. And that's something I feel like we're seeing a lot more in this tournament. I will be honest, I got very bored of the, I'm going to bounce my molly on and then I'm going to use the orbital strike to deny the defuse. Like, it's cool, but it's sort of like that on train in CS where you used to bounce the Molotov off the door, and I was just like, I've seen that too many times. It's not exciting anymore. Can we have something else? So the fact that a lot of players are now just starting to predict positions, I think Angel does it to an excellent degree and even almost uses it. It is going to be a focal point of that round, and now going forward 12-5. They make that retake work. Credit to FoDa as well, because he gets information but also stays alive for a ridiculous amount of time and is part of the team that actually manages to retake lamps as well, which in afterplant situations, if you don't have lamps, it becomes very awkward because you have to sit very far back and basically just play the time rather than just having multiple crossfires to actually hold on to the round. Here we go though. It is going to be a long take into B. Patient play coming up. Crazy Deer actually could be caught transitioning into a new position. He does have support of the cam of Barcode, which is actually relatively far back, but gives angles into both long and hookah, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really nice cam. Thrown up on top of the site. Tigene tucked in the corner. They're not expecting this now. It's loudly already dropped, and there you go. Like, immediately running back as soon as they hear the BZTs pop. The show stop. Okay, the wall goes across for Crazy Deer. I was wondering why they weren't looking for him. Barcode are able to pick up Boo, though. Being pursued at the moment. She had a pulse and it's missed. Vakk's completely whiffed that one, and that's going to cost them at 13-5 as Need More DM take the victory on Bind and 2-0 in the series.